Aha! There you are. Welcome to Give It a Swing Outdoors with Smith. And I've been out of action for a while, but I thought it was time I uploaded something. And first of all, first things first, we're going to look at the surroundings. Now, people who follow the channel for a few years will notice that this is all a little bit different. It's a different garden, it's a different house, and that's because in the autumn we moved house and we found a nice little place to live, which is idyllic, with trees and a lot of garden space, a little vegetable plot there, and a place for the quails and everything else. But today's vlog is not about that. That's just to give you a bit of a background. So there have been developments and a change of scene to my personal life. But today we're going to talk about a tincture. A teacher? No, a tincture. There is a difference. Now, we'll give it a swing with something a bit different, as I said, which is natural medicines. There we go, that's better. So, what on earth is a tincture? And a tincture is a way of extracting chemicals from natural materials. And in this case, it's aspirin, natural aspirin. I've made some notes in my little notebook, because that's always important to do. And so I thought I'd share with you a little project I've been involved with to extract natural aspirin from willow bark. And this here has been sat for 8-9 weeks now, and it's willow bark, and it's been sat in alcohol. And the idea is the tincture, what a tincture does is it uses the alcohol to extract the natural properties. And as I said, aspirin. And natural aspirin is called salicylic acid, and that's the pain relieving agent. It's also a blood thinner, but salicylic acid has been used for hundreds and hundreds of years. And according to my notes here, it was the philosopher Hippocrates, 460 to 370 BC, and it even goes further back to the Egyptians. And it's found in white willow. Well, all the willow trees have it in, but white willow is apparently one of the best ones. And I've got some. Oh, another thing. Yeah, I'm all strapped up. I've had my second shoulder operation, where the 3 tendons have been sewn back into the bone, and they've been in with the angle grinder and ground away a load of excess bone growth due to the arthritis. And yeah, so I'm going to be up and running soon. The right shoulder was done a couple of months ago. That's doing very well. Oh, still feel it though, but yeah, all going well there. So that's just a quick explanation of the sling. Again, a bit of a random video I can hear as I'm going into this. But back to what we're giving it a swing with today, the natural aspirin. Now, aspirin's been on the go for years. Everyone knows aspirin. But first of all, let's have a look at the willow that we're using. Now, this willow, apparently, according to the experts, that you should harvest in springtime, and that's when I actually did harvest this willow. And you don't want it any thicker than that, because it's not the hard outer bark you want. The salicylic acid is found in the bark, but not the outer bark, and not the wood inside. It's found in this. I'm just peeling a bit off there. It's found in this sort of waxy membrane between the outer bark and the inner wood. That's where the acid is in. That's where it is. And of course, that's what you've got to do, is you've got to draw it out of that membrane, this waxy membrane. And there's different ways of doing it. I've seen people just make tea, just boil it in water and make a cup of tea out of it. Apparently it tastes like shit, but if you want the pain-killing properties, then what the hell. The other thing was, apparently old Hippocrates, he would just chew on the bark itself, just constantly chew it, and all his aches and pains would go away, because he was an old fella and he'd chew on that. One of the good things about when you get old, you've got lots of aches and pains, so you can experiment and things like this. So let's see how that goes. But so that's the white willow that I whittled down. I took all the bark off, and and placed it, literally just bunged it in this jar, and then added the alcohol. Now apparently the alcohol has to be no less than 40%. It has to be 40% proof to have any effect, to make the tincture work. So that's what I did. This is called Olbor Tafel Akavit. So it's not snaps, it's an akavit. There's a bit of it, yeah. Everybody calls it snaps. What the hell? So let's not go down that rabbit hole. But the point is, it's got the alcohol that's strong enough to extract the natural aspirin. And once it's been extracted, they say 6 to 8 weeks, and this has got a lot longer. So this should have done its job now. The alcohol should have done its job, and we've got a tincture, an elixir, that should be a good painkiller. Now back to my notes. It turns out that natural aspirin was first synthesized in 1899 by Felix Hoffmann, who was a chemist, and he did it for biopharmaceuticals. So it's a long time ago. So it's nothing new. It gets frowned upon, aspirin, today. The synthetic name is acetyl salicylic acid, and that's the synthesized version, and it gets a bit of a bad rap because apparently it can, if you're prone to acid in the stomach, it can really aggravate it, and then you've got another problem. However, if you don't have that problem, then aspirins are fine. The first time I asked for aspirin here in Denmark, she frowned upon me. Her face went all twisted out of shape. She said, "You can't buy aspirin in Denmark. It's not legal. It's not safe." Okay, right, yeah. You'd think I'd ask for crack or heroin, but anyway. But you can't get it here, and so I thought, well, let's see if we can do something a bit different. Back to pharmaceuticals, we know that a lot of the medicines we take today are derivatives from the natural world. Yeah, this is an old one. Aspirins. There we go. So let's have a look then. Shall we? We're ready now to filter the bark and get this in a little bottle. So I've got the medicine. So let's go there. Yeah, I'm fumbling about a bit with this, but it is what it is. There we go. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the sieve and this bowl and just basically, there we go. So basically pour out the liquid, and of course the sieve will let the liquid pass through and separate all the bark that's left. There we go. Now I can't imagine there's much we can do with the bark. I think that's just waste. So there we are. We've sieved that through, and we've got quite a bit. I can still smell the akavit, the snaps, but it's more like a tree bush type herbaceous herby sort of smell. So that's good. That's good. Now, as it is, I'm not going to try any of this because I've got a lot of other medicine on the go at the moment, and I don't think it'll be wise to start using some natural. There we go, and I've found a nice little bottle. So let's get that back in place. Back in place. Come on, Smith, you can do this. You can do this. There, right. So we've got the bottle there. It's a bit like an old bottle from the chemist. So I'm glad I found that. And in we go with the elixir, the tincture. Oh dear, that was a bit silly, Mr. Smith. Can I do it with that? Yeah, I can. There. So there we are, ladies and gentlemen. One bottle of natural aspirin tincture. yeah, as I said, I'm not going to taste this. I won't do that. I'm on different medicines at the moment, so you shouldn't start mixing stuff. But in theory, this should be a really good painkiller. Good for headaches, good for inflammation of the joints, and just generally all around good. If you've got a bit of a dodgy stomach, maybe not, I don't know. I'm not sure if the natural aspirin is better for your stomach than the synthetic version. I think actually it's because they made a synthetic version that it is bad for your stomach. Again, I'm just repeating what people have said, the experts. So I'm not going to regurgitate too much information as though I'm some big guru on the pharmaceutical products or anything. But all I know is this is supposed to work really well. People that suffer with migraines apparently use this, and it helps where other medicines don't at all. So I'm giving it a swing today with a natural aspirin tincture, now finished and in the bottle. And when I'm away from all these heroin-based morphine tablets, then I'll try this at some point, because I'm bound to get an ache and a pain, so that'll be interesting. So there we are. Quite a short vlog, but a vlog nonetheless, and you may have found it interesting. I hope you did. As I get older, I seem to find more and more things interesting, which is good, instead of losing interest. So there we are. Thank you all for watching. Thanks to all the new subscribers. You're all welcome on board, and I'll catch you a bit later when the arm's back up and running, the shoulders back up and I'm all active again. Then we'll get some outdoor stuff done. But for now, I shall carry on my recuperation in my little workshop shed. You might just want to have a look around there as well. Yeah, lots of things going. A crab snare. Got the fishing bags out, getting all the fishing stuff ready. So there we are. I shall not disturb you any longer. So, give it a swing. Outdoors with Smith is saying ta-ra for now.